John Newland was a British chemist. In the year 1865, he arranged the elements in an ascending order based on their atomic weight. And he observed that all these elements fall into 7 groups. Each of these groups contain elements with similar properties. So based on these observations, Newland proposed the law of octaves. This law states that when elements are arranged in an ascending order based on their atomic weight, they fall into a certain pattern where the properties of the elements are repeated at regular intervals. Every 8th element repeats the chemical properties to that of the first element. These elements can be seen in Newland's periodic table along the vertical line. Newland was the first person to assign atomic numbers to elements. Although, unfortunately, his work was neither accepted by his seniors or by the Journal of Chemical Study, which rejected his publication. In Newland's table, if you start with hydrogen and move down 6 steps, the 7th element would be oxygen. And the 8th element, that is the start of the 2nd group, would be fluorine. And the next 8th element would be chlorine, and so on. And the properties of hydrogen, fluorine, chlorine, and so on in this horizontal row would be similar. In the same way, if you start off with the element lithium, then the next 8th element would be sodium, and the next 8th element would be potassium. And obviously, these elements do have similar chemical and physical properties. Although it seems like Newland seniors and the Journal of Chemical Study were not too wrong in the rejection of Newland's table, because there are instances where 2 elements have been fitted into the same slot, for example, cobalt and nickel. And certain elements that are totally dissimilar in properties have been fitted into the same group. For example, he arranged cobalt, nickel, palladium, platinum, and iridium with halogens like fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. Now these are totally different in properties but are in the same group. Now this is a drawback. As Newland created this table with the elements that were then discovered, it was restricted to the 56 elements that were discovered. And later on, the elements that were discovered could not be fitted into Newland's table in accordance to their atomic properties. So what have we learned today? We have looked at Newland's periodic table. Until next time, happy learning!